The Maven B.7 binoculars, small but mighty. Why are they so pricey, and how do they compare to Maven's other lines of small and compact binoculars? Hi, I'm Tina from Target Tamers, and I've had plenty of hands-on time with the Maven B.7 8x25 binoculars to answer these questions and more. As a bit of context, the B series is Maven's premium line of binoculars, whereas the C series is the entry-level but mid-range line of binoculars. Now, I field tested the C2 7x28 binoculars more than a while ago, and I loved them for their low price point, optical performance, and compact size. Now, the B3s have 30mm objectives, providing more optical performance as far as image quality goes. Now, I'd say that the B7s come in to bridge that gap between the C2s and the B3s. This has a more conventional configuration, so 8 and 10 times magnification with 25mm objectives. They also come in lighter in weight than the B3s at around 12 ounces, so the same as a C2. Let's run over the specs. This particular binocular that I field tested has 8 times magnification, 25mm objectives, a 356 foot field of view. It is 4.6 by 4.8 by 1.6 inches in size. It weighs 12.4 ounces. It has Schmidt-Pacham prisms, dielectric coatings on the non-reflective surfaces, has ED glass, is IPX7 rated, has a magnesium frame, and is nitrogen purged for fog-proof benefits. Now, the Maven B7s have a dual hinge design that allows each tube or barrel to fold in. Obviously, the quality of the dual hinges and everything to keep it waterproof and fog-proof and rugged for field use contributes to the overall cost. However, this very one feature alone makes it extremely convenient to just throw it into a pocket and be ready for any excursion. When folded, they are 2.75 inches wide. Now, it's actually a perfect fit to the included pouch that comes with it. You can wear it on your belt, on your mole vest or something, and it does come with a neck lanyard too. Now, you could use it for day or close range hunting. It has a magnet in the flap, so it's a lot less noisier than Velcro or zippers. The only downside to actually using the pouch is that you have to reset your IPD every time you pull it out. Now, speaking of the IPD, it's obviously very wide, from 38 to 73mm, so it's going to suit everybody pretty much, except for if you probably have a wider IPD setting like 74mm plus. Though the B7s are small, the optics still pack a punch. Well, they ought to, right, given the cost for one of these, but it's not money wasted. As is standard for a B-series binocular, it has ED glass, it has Schmidt-Pacham prisms and dielectric coatings for maximum reflectivity and light transmission. Now, it has excellent control of chromatic aberration, that color bloating that you might see in high contrast environments. I have not been able to detect that with the B7s with the naked eye. Now, the overall brightness is slightly on the darker side, and that is just the nature of small objective binoculars. Now, even so, its vibrance, resolution, and sharpness is fantastic, and that would be thanks once again to the optical components, the prisms, lenses and groups, and the coatings. Now, I especially found it enjoyable to observe close range targets like waterfowl, insects, and of course people. I think for a small pair of binoculars, these are excellent for spotting elk, deer, antelope, for those that are in the tree stands, timber, or bow hunting. You get it. Looking to the focus now real quick, isn't it small? So tiny and cute. It's not even 1 inch in diameter, it's more like 0.75 inches wide. Makes it really easy to use with just one finger, and really altogether it's really easy to use with just one hand when you're glassing out in the field. Now, even though it's small, it does its job well, and I think that's a common theme that we're seeing here, right? Small but mighty and powerful. It has good resistance. I haven't detected any rough spots or stiff spots along the entire focus range, and I can always get the focus that I need. After all, it is a B-series binocular. Now, the diopter is one of the easiest diopters I've been able to use on a Maven binocular before. Even so, this shouldn't move on you unintentionally, and that's the point, right? So I'm going to take a quick second here to say that if you're finding my review helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you. That second's up. Let's get back to it. So the more moving parts that you add to a binocular, the more weak links you can potentially introduce, right? So the B7s, just like Maven's other binoculars, have twist-off eye cups. So yes, they can be replaced, and you can get in there and clean really good around the eyepieces and the threading. This kind of maintenance step actually helps with binocular longevity. So even though this could be seen as a weak link, it's not. The eyepieces and ocular bells are completely sealed off. Now the other moving parts that could be cause for concern would be the dual hinges, right? Well, the tubes are completely sealed off, and it has a really good quality bridge that connects the two barrels. It's been IPX7 rated for waterproof submersion up to 30 minutes. And to water test it, I completely took off the eye cups. I don't recommend that you do this, but I did, and everything held up. And what I have left to say is I told you so. So it's been nitrogen purged for fog-proof benefits, so none of that internal fogging, condensation, growth of fungus and mold is going to happen with the B7s. So the heavy-duty build quality of the B7s is just another factor that contributes to its overall cost. Now the B3s and the B7s have magnesium frames, are made with Japanese components and are assembled in the US. The C2 binoculars, as part of the C series, have polymer frames, are made with Japanese and Chinese components and are assembled in the Philippines. So the B7s versus the C2s versus the B3s, which is best for you? So the C2s have the best price point out of the 3 lines of compact binoculars that Maven currently offers, but you do lose out a little bit on the field of view. Now, I found the polymer chassis to be extremely durable, and I have no qualms with the C2 line of binoculars. I actually really like them for their optical performance, especially for the money. Now, if it were between the B3s and the B7s, if you want the absolute best in optical performance, I would say go with the B3s. Now, though the specs might not indicate a significant difference between the two, the B3s will have an edge over the B7s, and that's thanks to the additional lenses and groups in the optical assemblies, the larger objectives, and the B3s have a slightly wider field of view. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's my opinion that the B7s bridges the gap between the C2s and the B3s. It has greater optical performance in the C2s, but it also offers something that neither of the other 2 lines can compete with, and that's extreme compactness given its foldable design. For this one feature that accompanies the high quality build integrity with premium optics, it will cost you a pretty penny. So I really like these nifty but high quality binoculars. If I were to only pick one benefit of many to recommend the B7s over all of Maven's other binoculars, it would be convenience. These are extremely lightweight, compact and foldable, and these benefits together makes it extremely convenient to put it into your pocket and get out glassing right away, whether you're in the field or in the city. Now, if I were to only pick one benefit to recommend the B7s over all other 8x25 alternatives, it would be optical performance. The optics are far superior to those that are in the market, and those that can compare cost more. And that I'm talking about like the Zeiss Victory pocket binoculars and the Swarovski CL pocket binoculars. So I do recommend the B7 8x25s for all outdoorsmen who are bird watching, sightseeing, wildlife observation, event observation, hiking, camping, people watching, you name it. Now, for those that are in the hunt where the small configuration best suits the conditions, it does have the optical performance to keep up. Now, I hope my review on the Maven binoculars was helpful to you. I have included the link to the written review in the description below. Thank you for joining me today, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and get outside.